Hello, welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dream of owning a home or investing in one. Today's show, I want to address a problem that is beginning to come up. You see, there are a number of people who went out and bought a home, and as soon as they bought a home, they lost their job due to the coronavirus. Believe it or not, I know someone back in 2008 who bought their home, and then 1 week after they closed on the home, they also lost their job. So this is a situation that can happen. One thing that is often recommended, I heard it recommended on another show where someone also called in about the same situation. They recommend, well, you're going to have to go turn around and try and sell your home. That's one option. It is an option, but it can be a very expensive option to do so. You see, when you do that, when you sell your home within a week or so, the government will tax you at 40%. The longer you hold on to your home, the less they will tax you on the profit and sale of that home. So here are a number of ways in which you can avoid being hit like that. First and foremost, of course, apply for unemployment. Look, we don't know when the stimulus checks are coming in, number one. Number two, we don't know, everybody is individual and everyone is not going to qualify for the stimulus check. So therefore, you want to go ahead and apply for unemployment. Next, if you can, because not all states are going to be able to do this at this particular point in time because of the quarantine. I understand some states are not quarantined at this time. If you are in a state that's not quarantined, contact Section 8 and see if you qualify for the Housing Choice Voucher Program. Okay? If you are in a state where it's quarantined, you may not be able to do so because with Section 8, they actually do inspections in the house. And if the house does not meet up to code, then you'll be disqualified. And being that there is quarantine, they'll be able to speak with you on the phone, but nobody is going to be able to actually come out and visit that house to see if you're approved. So that is the problem. But I would just call them anyway. Just call them anyway and see what happens. Next, now this is something that the person that this happened to back in 2008 did, is that person asked their relatives to help out. Now, you can even ask your relatives or friends to move in with you and help you pay down your bills. This way, all of you can save some money because you're working together. And this will definitely work if your home has separate entrances. Another thing that you can do is if you have any extra rooms in your house or even extra apartments in your house, I would contact hospitals. I would also contact universities that train medical professionals and see if they are in need. Many of them are. Most of them across the country are, because across the country, there is a desperate need for medical professionals. Now, let me let you know something. First of all, me personally, I have worked at two hospitals, Harlem Hospital and Goldwater Memorial. The way those facilities work, they do house nurses. It's normally rooms and it's normally 2-person to a room. However, after 2 years or so, that nurse, that doctor is expected to move out and find their own apartment. Now, before the coronavirus really hit the United States, you already had a mass number of doctors, scientists, and nurses in those buildings that were being put out. So those people Many of them are were already looking for a place to live. So now that you have all these different states in desperate need, trying to get people who are retired, trying to recruit people from schools to work in this hospital for the coronavirus and other diseases that people are being treated for, excuse me, rooms are in desperate need. They need that. In New York City, I'll tell you this. $3,000 a week, I believe it's $3,000 a week is what they're paying therapists. Nurses are being paid $10,000 a week, plus they are getting extra money for lodging. So there is money out there. You need to position yourself in the correct area. You may have to, if it's a one family house, what I would even suggest is take a couch, sleep on it in the living room, and rent out every single room, every single bedroom that you have in that house to help you pay for that particular mortgage. Next, a new law is coming down the line, which will give hardest hit funds to every single state. As soon as you find out that it's in your state, you need to apply immediately. Don't dilly-dally at all, okay? Next, you want to go to your bank and let them know what has happened to you. Let them know that you've lost your job. Ask them for forbearance. Also, ask them if they have a job open. Why? Because many banks are also looking to hire people, and maybe you have a skill that they can use. Many of them are already overworked, especially the loan officer. So if you're good with math, you may be able to be an assistant. And from what I understand, from what I heard, I forgot the proper term, but you don't even need to have a college degree. You're good if you have a high school diploma and you know how to count. Okay. Next, another thing to look into is that there are some banks and brokerage firms that will pay you to open up an account with them. So find out from your bank if there are any account promotions that they are running and how much money they are willing to give. I've seen anywhere between $50, $350 and $500. So look into that. Next, you want to call your credit card company and also let them know that because of the coronavirus, you have lost your job. Ask them also how many points and rewards you already have accumulated and use those points to pay for whatever debt you have on those cards. That'll definitely help you out a lot as well. Next, contact your utility companies. All of them right now have a special program for those who have lost their jobs due to the coronavirus. And they also have programs for those who have the coronavirus. Listen, I found out that the coronavirus, just to stay in the hospital to have it cured, I believe it's like $36,000. So use everything you got. Next, contact your local church, the church you go to. And if you don't go to church at all, contact one near you, because there are churches such as the one that I attend and many of the ones in my area that actually service the whole community, not just their members. Okay? They're giving out free food. They're giving out free seeds so that you can grow your own food. Look into that. Next, the two websites you definitely must check out is frugalconfessions.com and needhelppayingbills.com. Why? Because they have it broken down state by state, all of the grants and all of the programs that are out there that can assist you in your time of need. Another area, another place where you can go to look for jobs Law firms, many of them are not just hiring lawyers, even though that is the main position that they are looking for. But they're also looking for paralegals. They're also looking for secretaries. They're looking for computer personnel. They're looking for people in the mailroom, in the supply room, etc. Some of these jobs, they don't even, I know like the mailroom and the supply room, they don't, even if you have like a felony, they'll still look at you. Now, if you have a felony, you can't be a lawyer or paralegal. Okay, but there may be a job for you there. Look into that. Next, pick up a side gig. One good website is sidehustlenation.com. It has over 200 suggestions of what it is that you can do, such as teaching online, bookkeeping, cooking, editing, etc. Next, if you have anything that you're not using, instead of just throwing it in the garbage, consider selling it on either Etsy or eBay. Okay. Next, the law now that they have for the CARES bill, the coronavirus, it now allows you to take up to $100,000 out of your 401k without paying the 10% tax penalty. You'll still have to pay like the regular tax on it, like the regular income tax, but you don't have to pay that penalty. So, if all of the other suggestions that I mentioned does not add up to enough, think about that. But definitely speak to a financial advisor or accountant before doing so. You probably want to leave that like at the very end, if anything, before you do so. Next thing I want you to remember, if you are self-employed, know that you too can get unemployment. If you have less than 500 employees, then you can apply for a grant for those who opened up your business before February 15th. Okay? The other thing is this. Note that there are grants for those who are self-employed. If you are looking for a job, then job hunting is tax deductible. So please make a note of everything that you spend. If you have a felony, please note that there are free incubator programs around. Some of them are actually in churches. There's one guy out in North Carolina that is training people who have felonies to be their own bosses. So that might be another thing for you to consider. But now, lastly, if everything that I've mentioned to you guys above is still not enough, and you still want to get rid of your property, there are 3 other ways that you can use to avoid the 40% tax hit. Number 1, sell it using subject to, which is you let someone else take over your mortgage. But definitely before you do so, check with your insurance provider, your lender, and your lawyer, and also your accountant, just to make sure there's no restrictions in your city or state. The other thing you can do is owner financing. Make sure that the interest you charge is the same or more than what the bank typically charge. This way you can actually get more of your money back. And then lastly is lease purchase. Again, check with your lawyer to make sure that it's legal in your state before you do that. Okay? So guys, that's all I have for you tonight. Hopefully the information that I've shared with you will allow you to make smart financial moves. Feel free to pass this along. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.